Buena Vista Social Club is a studio album by Buena Vista Social Club, an ensemble of Cuban musicians directed by Juan DeMarcos Gonzalez and American guitarist Ry Cooder. The album, their one album they put out, was a critical and commercial success and remains the best-selling fully Spanish language album of all time worldwide. Its release was followed by a short concert tour in Amsterdam and New York's Carnegie Hall in 1998. It's a fucking banger. This is Nirvana the Band, the show, the podcast, a podcast where we discuss all of Nirvana the Band, the show, and the movie in an attempt to get Matt Johnson and Jay McCarroll to come on as guests. I'm Steve, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Kit.
How are we doing today?
Phenomenal.
Well, I've just learned quite a bit about the Buena Vista Social Club, so I'm great.
I listened to that album all week. It's so good.
I did not, but I enjoyed the music that I heard in this episode of Nirvana the Band, the show.
Hell yeah. Also, we're going to talk about it, but there is a documentary of Inventors that chronicles the making of and aftermath of the album coming out.
I'm so glad that you dove deep into the Buena Vista Social Club, because I'm really looking forward to learning about it. I think the extent of my research was reading the Wikipedia page and trying to figure out if they were actually a band for more than like a single album.
Mm-hmm.
The answer was complicated.
Yeah, it's incredibly complicated. I had that album on CD. I listened to it quite a bit in the late 90s, early 2000s. And the documentary I like fine. But I decided, because we were doing this episode, one of which is the Buena Vista Social Club, to go back and listen to the album a bunch. But before we get into the episode, we have some top of the show housekeeping to do.
Let's get into it.
Have we heard from any of our guests? Our desired guests? Let me check the board. Matt and Jay?
No, we have not.
The Cloverfield Monster.
Cloverfield Monster was on the show.
Yeah, close personal friend at this point.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah. The fan page moderator.
Secrets. Maybe.
Have we heard from Jay's dad?
I keep throwing paper airplanes out the window, and they're just not getting where they need to go. So no word yet.
Lydia Tarr?
No, sadly, but I have been sending what I think her account is in Monster Hunter a lot of messages. So maybe we'll hear back.
Cool. Connor Ratliff, we have not. Werner Herzog. Michelle, has he reached out to you? I know you guys are buds.
No, but I feel like the mail's going to come in a surprising way.
And finally, Seth MacFarlane, but to only talk about Frank Sinatra.
Old Blue Eyes has not responded to our messaging yet.
God, could you imagine if zombie Frank Sinatra reached out?
Before Seth MacFarlane? I think if we got zombie Frank Sinatra on the show, Seth would follow soon.
Let me dig a little bit. I'll find zombie Frank Sinatra's email. He's coming on the pod, man.
Hell yeah. Tell him fuck off.
We hate zombie Frank Sinatra now? This is breaking news.
That guy was pretty racist.
I don't know anything about this man except for that song he sang that everyone likes.
That singular song that Frank Sinatra
that
sang.
One song that I know.
Mac the Knife. That's him, right?
He does a version of it, but it is Bobby Darin, and Bobby Darin is one of the greatest singers of all time. Hi, I really love Bobby Darin. Anyway,
who is Bobby Darin?
He's the splish splash I was taking a bath guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
Obviously, in the great musical biopic directed by and starring Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
What?
New homework, Kit. Gotta look up Bobby Darin's greatest hits. Anyway.
Is that the movie with Kevin Spacey, or is this a different, separate thing?
Yeah, that's what he called the movie, Bobby Darin's greatest hits.
That's a great name for a movie.
Yeah. Bobby Darin, dope as hell.
There's a Bobby Darin musical right now.
There is.
And Jeremy Jordan's playing Bobby Darin.
It's true.
These are all sentences that have words in them to me.
And before Jeremy, it was Jonathan Groff. And for a brief period, I think it was the teacher from Glee, who may or may not be evil. Unclear.
I thought he was evil. I know that, maybe.
I think the actor might not be, but I think Mr. Shu from Glee was. This is a conversation for a different podcast.
Nirvana the Band.
The show.
Reacher.
Glee. I can't commit to that.
And then we all commit ritualistic suicide on air.
Yeah.
We live stream our deaths.
Oh my God, Faces of Death. Let's go.
One last bit of housekeeping. Kit, have you listened to Pet Sounds?
I've listened to so many sounds, dude. I listen to pet sounds. I listen to airplane sounds, ambulance sounds. No, I did listen to pet sounds, and it fucking rocks. Like, I don't know if anyone knows this, but Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys is like actually so good. Like an underrated classic, many are saying. Yeah, no, it fucking rocks.
I'm really happy for you.
Me too. I'm glad you got to do this.
I'm glad you got to do that, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I took your advice to find my nicest headphones and listen to it, and I did, and it was just really, really good. There were songs I knew. I didn't realize they were on that album, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I understand
Which were the ones you knew?
I knew Wouldn't It Be Nice? I knew God Only Knows, and I think I knew I Just Wasn't Made for These Times for some reason.
We do have some younger listeners. They may not be weird music nerds in their 30s and 40s and may not know Pet Sounds. So we might be doing them a favor here.
You should listen to Pet Sounds. Get your best headphones. It's so good. You have probably heard God Only Knows. I am really surprised that oh my God, which song did you say you just...
It was Wouldn't It Be Nice? God Only Knows. And then the other one I've already closed. Apple Music. Hold on, let me type it back in. Pet Sounds. It was, I believe it was I Just Wasn't Made for These Times.
I'm so curious what that was in or where you would have heard it, because I think that is a really good song on that album that doesn't get talked about very much.
Sure.
Just having like I don't know if it even technically is a chorus, but it's just, I just feel so sad.
That's a vibe.
I feel so sad sometimes. And you know what? I do feel so sad sometimes.
It's true. You two do not know how happy I am that we've just gone off on a Beach Boys tangent on this episode.
Why is that?
I fucking love the Beach Boys so goddamn much. Well, not now. Now it's just Mike Love being racist. But before that, when Brian Wilson was around, love the Beach Boys. So it just makes me really happy that somewhere in my life I can have a Beach Boys corner that's not fighting with my father-in-law.
We could have a Beach Boys corner every episode.
Don't tempt me. It's make these episodes 3,000 hours long.
I'm okay with that. It's a show within a show, the Beach Boys.
You so desperately want a show within the show.
I do, really badly.
So first up today, we're going to be talking about the Nirvana the Band, the show, the web series, bonus episode, the Buena Vista Social Club. While Jay is at home composing his own soundtrack to the movie Madagascar 2, Matt is in Cuba looking for the Buena Vista Social Club. Opening credits, Star Trek. How'd we feel about this?
Confused.
This is bizarre in the best way.
This is one of my favorite things from the web series.
Really?
I love
liked
it so
but
much.
I'm surprised to hear that it's a favorite. But one of the notes I wrote down was like, I feel like there's a lot that I'm missing here. And maybe you, with significantly more knowledge about the Buena Vista Social Club than me, will be able to shed some light on what on earth is happening in this episode.
So I thought about this a lot. The thing is, this is what's weird. You don't actually need that much knowledge because the documentary Buena Vista Social Club opens with one of the members of the band going around looking for the site of the original Buena Vista Social Club.
Interesting.
And he's like, do you know where it is? And he's going around, and then eventually it comes out very quickly. Mind you, this is the first like 10 minutes of the documentary that like it's been turned into somebody's house and it doesn't exist anymore. And it only exists through the music and the people. And that's kind of the very twee conceit, right? Like, is that the place doesn't exist, but it exists. And the joke of this episode is that Matt is looking for the band, the Buena Vista Social Club, and asking everybody where it is. That's the extent of it. He's just doing a direct parody of the first 5 to 10 minutes of a documentary.
That is such a funny film nerd answer to what the fuck is going on in this episode. Does the J component of this have anything to do with the documentary, or is that its own thing? I assume Madagascar 2 wasn't mentioned in this documentary.
It was mentioned.
Well, it wasn't out yet. It was probably Madagascar 1.
Not the Escape to Africa. The reason I like this one is they're both kind of on the same journey. It is the two of them trying to find joy while struggling to achieve a creative goal. This is a lot deeper, I think, than a lot of the other web series where it's really just a almost like a slice of life episode, right? Like we're watching these two guys on parallel journeys coming back together in the end. And I found something really charming about that. I love a slice of life documentary or a slice of life movie. And this is what it is. We're just watching our two little buddies go through it a 24-hour period, both being frustrated that they can't do the thing they desperately want to do for creative reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you two felt. That's my takeaway from this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this episode because of a very different reason. I didn't really think about it in that perspective of it being like them both attempting a creative endeavor and kind of failing. For me, it was just kind of like another situation where their friendship is tested in a way where Matt is going all out he's seen this documentary. He is going to Cuba to figure out like how these people that he saw in the documentary were able to achieve their dreams. He wants to do that for the band. And so he's left and gone to do this thing, right? Complete fool's errand type situation for the band. Jay, however, doesn't believe that Matt has left at all to go to Cuba. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's like playing Scrabble by himself, or he's in a Cuban restaurant or whatever. And he's getting angry at Matt for not being around to help him with his creative project of doing the Madagascar 2 spec script or spec score. Mm-hmm. And it's just like funny to see Jay be so upset about this, because it's just like, you don't need Matt to be there to do this. You could just sit down and do it. It's another one of those situations where I feel like these two are kind of like a set, do not separate, where it's just like, Jay, you don't really need Matt there. You just want him there. You can definitely sit down and like hammer out the spec score. And then when he's back, he can listen to it.
Yeah. And they reveal at the end, it's been a day.
Yeah.
I think similar to my reaction to the Battle of the Bands, I was just a little bit sad the whole time because yeah, I don't like when our boys are apart. And they're apart this whole time and calling each other and sometimes missing each other, but just like not being on the same level and trying to catch up. And there were parts of it that I really enjoyed, but I think when they're apart, it's always a little less fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
So to very briefly go through the plot, which we kind of did, we're not underselling it. It's Matt goes to Cuba. He's wandering around talking to people, trying to find the Buena Vista Social Club. Ends up thinking he finds them, and it's just a bunch of people dancing to music, like at a hotel bar stage. And while Matt is like making pop culture references to Jay. Jay keeps going to the video store to take out whatever that project is and not writing his spec score. That's the entire episode, and I love how little plot is.
Mm-hmm. From the first shot where Matt is on the phone with Jay and sort of like walking with a bag down a hill, I was like, oh, this is funny. They're going to pretend that Matt's in Cuba, but they're just going to be trying to make different parts of wherever he is look like Cuba. There's no way he's actually in Cuba. And then when it becomes obvious that he is actually in Cuba, I was so startled and confused. And I think the whole episode, I was waiting to figure out, like, they can't have possibly gone to Cuba just to film this thing, right? And I don't have an answer. And the commentary certainly doesn't answer it.
And there's like no info on this online. It's weirdly one of the few episodes you can't find anything about. Or I couldn't find anything.
I couldn't find anything either.
Yeah, me neither.
I want to do my way too deep analysis on this, and I'm probably wildly speculating here. But while the Buena Vista Social Club documentary is widely praised, it's in the Criterion Collection, I believe. Like, it's considered one of the best loved documentaries of the late 90s, or 90s in general. One of the bits of criticism, I believe it was from Roger Ebert, was that the documentary focuses on the perspective of the white musicians and white producers that went to Cuba to recruit these older musicians. And it sees the movie through the lens of the white, I think they're American guys, including like constantly during musical performances panning up to their faces. I do wonder if Matt was being a little subversive here, because his journey to Cuba is him being very clueless. He's not doing like silly pranks, right? He's being there. He's being awkward. But we're seeing Cuba through the lens of this clueless white guy from Canada. And I just wonder, is Matt doing a weird commentary on the documentary?
I mean, I think it's possible. I think that could be the intention, but in watching this and some of the interactions that Matt has with people in Cuba, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. Like, there are a few moments where, like, Matt is just like, I don't know if it was the character Matt intentionally being racist or what the deal was, but there is, like, one moment where he's like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Mexican. And I'm just like, brother, we don't need to be doing that.
Nope.
So, I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I tend to read Matt, the character, and whatever inclination Matt, the real person, is trying to do in the 2008 series in general is sort of like edgy white guy stuff. Like, maybe it does land there, but to me, often I don't think it's much deeper than that.
Yeah, I think it's hard to really feel like I can fully weigh in since I haven't seen the documentary. It feels possible, but I don't know.
This could also, I think, Kit, you were saying, it could be one of those things where it ends up doing that without meaning to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably more accurate. Just for me, I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, yeah, this is just a heightened version of that thing that my beloved Roger Ebert complained about.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely possible. I just don't know if I trust Matt Johnson in this time period to say anything meaningful about race.
I think that
I don't necessarily
totally fair.
I wouldn't even look at him trying to say something about race. I kind of view it through the lens of him wanting to dunk on Wim Wenders.
Mm-hmm.
That feels more plausible.
Yeah.
I didn't read it as like he has this like deep thing to say. I think I read it as he may have read that like scathing Roger Ebert review and decided to make a thing dunking on a popular.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get on the show, we're going to ask them.
I'll add it to my running list of questions.
The most interesting thing, I think, in this one is, given a lot of the messaging around Cuba at the time, mostly in America, and I assume it found its way to Canada, Matt going and showing all of the people as kind and, charming and welcoming to this outsider,
Mm-hmm.
even if inadvertent, like, ends up being a little piece of culture that pushes back on these like Cuba is a hellscape where everyone's suffering at all times narratives that were so prevalent at the time.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I was not quite old enough or socially aware enough at this time to have like a super good grasp on what the public narrative about Cuba was. But I don't know that it's changed a whole lot.
And also, I feel like what we as Americans know as the public narrative might be different from Canada, because I don't think Canada ever I don't think they ever stopped trade with Cuba. I don't know how entrenched any of the culture war stuff that we have about Cuba was in Canada.
That's a good point, because I think my initial reaction of like, there's no way they're actually in Cuba is based on like, that it's pretty hard to get to Cuba if you live in America and you like have to sort of take these roundabout ways. And it's hard and it's weird. And there are a lot of parts of the world where you can simply fly there like you would fly to anywhere in the Caribbean.
Well, in the 80s and 90s, at least to my memory of culture, and this is like the age difference thing with us, like sitcoms and movies made commentaries where like, and I'm not going to weigh in on the Cuban government history. I have no right to do that. But like Castro as a villain and Cuba as like this, like movies like doing like allegories for Cuba as like a horrible fascist state and everybody's suffering. And just like jokes about people escaping Cuba. The whole Elian Gonzalez trial, and all of that. It's just, for me, being, in 1999... when Buena Vista Social Club, the documentary, came out, like that seemed like such a breath of fresh air when I saw it, to what messaging I had been receiving for my whole life. And it could just be like my corner where I've received things through culture or people around me. It just putting it in the context of where I was at the time. It's watching this is just so interesting to see this positive representation. I don't know if you remember, I can't believe I'm going down this road, but when The Fate of the Furious came out.
Huh?
That's not what I was expecting you
I know.
to say.
Where are we going?
Next.
Hear me out.
Where are you driving us?
Sir!
I believe it was the first major Hollywood movie to ever shoot in Cuba. Once Obama like allowed people in, because it wasn't until Barack Obama visiting that a U.S. president had visited in forever. So Fate of the Furious shooting in Cuba was like this huge deal that an American movie was coming to Cuba with like and trying to make it work.
Fascinating.
I did a lot of this research for my Vin Diesel podcast, but
I have a little to no recollection of the Fate of the Furious. Do they race the funneled cars?
Yes.
Of course.
And it like is burst into flames while Dominic Toretto's driving it. It's like the only good scene in that movie. And he's like driving backwards because the engine's on fire and he just like throws it into the ocean. That
does feel vaguely familiar, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it just could be the way my brain works, but I walked out of this episode, and the first time I saw this as well, the Buena Vista Social Club episode, being like, wow, that's like a really positive portrayal of Cuba in a time period where that wasn't really a thing.
That's interesting.
Again, this is me, a fucking white person from New York City talking. But since we're talking about this episode, I've just, I thought it might be interesting to go down the road of the cultural context.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to talk about the other half of this episode of back in Toronto, what Jay's up to?
Of course.
This, for me, I was disappointed that this is not one where the opening credits theme like actually has a huge amount of influence on the plot, because I wanted to see an alien on the show. Maybe that's waiting for me in the Viceland series. Fingers crossed. But there's a lot of Star Trek, and I don't think this has come up yet, but I do have an in-house Star Trek specialist.
Oh, do you?
I do. Do we want to fact check?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me go collect my specialist. One moment, please.
This is great because I watched Star Trek as a child and I have no recollection.
I have only seen movies.
Oh, really?
And a couple episodes of Next Generation.
I've seen the show, not many of the movies.
When have you ever known me to watch TV? I'm a movie person.
Hi, friends.
Hi, Patrick. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
How are we?
Good.
Doing all right. How are you?
Great. I'm great.
So we really wanted to get your expertise on something.
Okay.
What does Janeway to Bridge mean?
What does Janeway to Bridge mean? Captain Janeway is the captain of the USS Voyager of the Star Trek series Voyager. Janeway calls to the bridge. The bridge is where people in command sit. So when she's calling to the bridge, she's looking for people in charge other than herself.
Thanks so much. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. The ongoing bit of where I bully everyone's partners.
Yeah, that was really helpful. I learned what a bridge was.
I have one to sell you.
Whoa.
Brooklyn, if you'd like it.
Oh my God,
Is
love.
Is it the one that Fergie talked about? Because that's the only bridge I've ever heard of.
Yeah. London Bridge.
In Brooklyn.
Lundy.
Do you know the original London Bridge is in Arizona?
What?
They tore it down and carried it over to Arizona.
Why not?
Why
and rebuilt it.
Arizona? There's not a lot of water
I'm
there.
sure there's a reason. I don't remember it. But I do know it's over there.
I'm a big fan of their iced tea, so Arizona can have them.
Yeah, they store all of the big 99-cent cans on the original London Bridge.
That sounds like a great day out. Sing a little song, have some green tea. But, so great. Thank you so much to Patrick for answering what Janeway to Bridge meant. Jay had a really hard time with it.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I have watched a lot of Star Trek, but I am mostly watching it in the context of it's on in my house and I'm asking who kisses on the show. And sometimes rooting for people who don't kiss on the show to kiss on the show. And that's sort of my main level of engagement.
Have you gotten anyone that you wanted to kiss on the show to kiss on the show?
Yes.
Ooh, what was your biggest win?
My biggest win is in probably the least liked Star Trek series of them all, which is Enterprise, where Scott Bakula is the captain. And I forget what his title is, but Commander Trip Tucker and T'Pol, who is a very hot Vulcan woman, they smooch a little bit. Not as much as they should, but it feels like me chanting "kiss" at the TV reached through the years back to 2002 and made them kiss. It's a show that multiple times while we were watching it, we were like, wow, I can really tell that this was made in the years immediately after 9/11. Isn't that weird?
Oh, no.
My favorite era of culture.
It's a really strange one.
Just a lot of close-ups of American flags for some reason, or?
No. It's hard to
Amazing.
explain.
Now, do I ever get to kiss Jonathan Frakes is the real question.
I think that's up to you and Jonathan Frakes.
Okay.
Would the trombone be involved?
Whatever it takes, baby. Get that scratchy beard smooching my face. So Jay goes to the video store to get the videos, and there's a giant Blues Brothers 2000 poster there, and it broke my fucking brain.
Once again, you are paying attention to details in the background that I would never have noticed in a million years.
Yeah. Why did that break your brain?
Also,
Why would you
what's
hang up a Blues Brothers
2000?
Yes!
I genuinely don't know. I have no clue what that is.
Oh!
It registered like a full 20 seconds after you said it that you weren't just saying Blues Brothers. And I was like, why would you be confused about a Blues Brothers poster?
You don't know about Blues Brothers 2000, actually?
Actually. I don't know what that is.
There is a dreadful sequel to the Blues Brothers called Blues Brothers 2000.
It's horrible.
Who's in it?
Dan Aykroyd,
Okay.
John Goodman, some other guy who turns out is a secret Blues Brother. He's a cop that's chasing him who gets Blues Brothers powers, and a kid.
A cop can't be a Blues Brother.
He is in that one.
He is in that one. What is most famous for me, hold on.
I can't believe we haven't watched this movie together.
I
This feels
can't
like
believe
one of the terrible films that you hoist upon us.
I saw Blues Brothers 2000 in theaters twice.
Of course you did. Based
Because-
on that
Because
being
you
the
were having
sum
fun.
total of information I have about that movie.
This may mean nothing to you two, but at the end of the movie, there's a battle of the bands, and the Blues Brothers band has to go up against a band called the Louisiana Gator Boys.
Sick.
And the Louisiana Gator Boys has, and I'm going to give you a few names here, Gary U.S. Bonds, Eric Clapton, Clarence Clemens, Bo Diddley, Isaac Hayes, Dr. John, B.B. King, Billy Preston, Lou Rawls, Paul Schaefer, Coco Taylor, Travis Tritt, Jimmy Vaughn, Grover Washington Jr., and Steve Winwood.
I don't know all of those names, but I know quite a few of them. And that's a crazy group of people.
Yeah. And that's why I saw it.
And did the Louisiana Gator Boys win the Battle of the Bands?
Yeah, they should have.
It really sounds like they should have. They got a lot of musical geniuses in there.
So I walked out of that movie being like, that movie's garbage, but that sequence is exhilarating.
So you went back for another round?
Yes.
Just to see the Gator Boys. I feel like maybe we need
Yes.
a double feature of Blues Brothers 2000 so that I can see it, and Dracula 2000 so that I can
watch it again.
I loved Dracula 2000.
I knew we were going to be friends for life when you had the same reaction to Dracula 2000 that I have had over the years, which is humana, humana, humana. Look at all these hotties. This movie rules.
It was so
for our
good.
listeners out there, I made a letterboxed list. You can find it on our Bluesky of movies we've recommended on this podcast. So you can just search Nirvana the Band, the show, the podcast on Letterboxd list. It's there. I will be adding Dracula 2000. I won't be adding Blues Brothers 2000, but you should go watch that one sequence.
My favorite thing about the Letterboxd is that Steve has logged who recommended it so that he cannot be responsible for the Cloverfield movies that are on the Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrific.
I also like when you guys are like, this great fun Disney Channel movie, and I'm like, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. You should watch that and ruin your week.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want
should
that
watch
idea.
fucking Brink and ruin your week. It's just like Twin Peaks.
Just as harrowing as Fire Walk with Me.
It is pretty harrowing. That gravel sequence, no joke, really scared me
believe
off rollerblading for life.
Steve, maybe that should be your homework.
Watch Fire Walk with Me? Okay.
No, watch
I
Brink.
think you know that's not what we're saying.
Because I do have the Twin Peaks from Z to A box set, and I'd be happy to.
That's so crazy. That's not Disney Channel original Brink.
I need you to understand
Fine.
what Team Puppin Suds means.
You know what? I will take that homework. I will watch Brink if I can find it.
Do you have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Great news. All the DCOMs are on there.
Cool.
The DCOMs?
The DCOMs, the Disney Channel original movies.
Oh my God.
I also have a copy of it on VHS, pretty easily accessible to me if you find out that you need that.
Can you mail it to me with a VCR?
Probably. Go to my
Thanks,
parents'
pal.
house and steal their VCR and my old copy of Brink.
I would love to go to your parents' house and watch a VHS tape.
Great. That
This
can be
sounds like a good time.
arranged.
That sounds like a good time.
My mom will make you cheesy salsa.
That might end poorly for me. But
For our listeners at home, Steve is lactose intolerant.
in case you didn't put two and two together,
Sorry to blow up your spot publicly.
and my butt with the cheesy salsa. So, do we want to talk about the commentary?
I would love to, because what the fuck?
What an experience that was. I had just finished watching Buena Vista Social Club. I'm having a great time. Jay is so cozy. I'm so excited to find out in the commentary if Jay still has that sweater. Instead, the commentary is with Chris Kelly, who is the video store clerk in Buena Vista Social Club, who is watching it in their apartment living room, while Matt is upstairs doing God knows what.
Allegedly, he is also the treasurer of the Nirvana the Band, the show fan club.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible to fact check.
Do we think that this rambling surprise commentary, because Chris Kelly thought he was going to be doing episode 5 and then had this one sprung on him? Do we think that they just wanted to be cagey about this episode and that's why they had him do it?
I just think it was like a bit, honestly, because when Chris yells up at Matt, I think that he was just like, yeah, it's funny. It's a bit. You're supposed you thought it was episode 5. It's not. Like, I just thought it was as simple as that. Maybe it
cagey? Could be.
Yeah.
I think it's so weird that there's no information about this episode. Matt and Jay, when you come on the show, I will be asking you about this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know everything about the Buena Vista Social Club episode. The one that probably no one talks about.
Yeah. I'm excited to ask them. I kept waiting for the commentary for like Matt and or Jay to run down and be like, haha, here we are halfway through. We left you alone for 7 minutes. And then they just don't. And poor Chris Kelly sitting quietly drinking a Diet Coke.
Stepping on rakes left and right. He was like,
Feeling bad every time he shows up on screen for himself.
Oh my God, I felt bad every time because he was just like, oh, I look so, like, I think he said he looked chubby in one part. And I was like, dude, calm down.
Chill the
You
fuck
look
out,
great.
man.
He said he looked like a grad student at one point. And
He did.
then I think the one actual laugh that the commentary track got out of me was at some point, there's a shot of a bird flying in the sky and he says, oh, there I am again.
That was pretty good.
And that was really funny and I liked it.
I was like, when he was like, I don't even know what a Cuban restaurant would serve. I was like, man, what is your life?
And then he said that he assumed that cars everywhere outside of North America had the steering wheel on the other side.
I mean, what a fascinating guy. I kind of wish he had done more commentary, to be honest with you.
You said rambling, and I was like, I wish he had rambled. I want to hear more from this man's brain, just like this stream of consciousness that's going on in there.
Where he was talking about Matt's iPhone and how it was like a sexy piece of machinery for like, I don't know, like 5 minutes, it felt like.
It was 2009, and not everyone had smartphones yet, which felt like an important thing to remember. That maybe he still had like an LG chocolate and he was jealous of a cool touchscreen phone.
Chris Kelly from the future, I'm telling you, I wish I still had an LG chocolate. That's a
really nice phone.
I wish
Chris
I saw
Kelly come on the podcast and talk to us about which cell phones you had in the early 2000s, please?
Isn't Chris Kelly also the name of that astronaut?
Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly, never mind.
And his brother Scott.
And their other brother, Chris.
The third Kelly.
The third Kelly.
And their sister, Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It's
Clarkson
all coming together.
Kelly, you're a genius.
Do you think when they came back from space, she said, well, since you've been gone?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I do.
We're doing great. There's so much to talk about on this episode.
It's okay. I think the last couple episodes have been sort of monsters, and this one might be a little shorter than our last few, which is great.
Yeah, and you know, if you weren't on board with our Ariana DeBose talk last week, I'm sorry, but also not, because that's what you're here for. Us. And this is what hanging out with us is like.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, anyway, do we have to? Yeah, I guess we do.
We should talk about the live show.
Do we have anything for the interlude before the live show?
Unless we want to do Bush on Cuba as our interlude.
No, that was just... I think about the Buena Vista Social Club episode all the time.
Really?
I'm so fascinated by it. I really am so fascinated by it.
This is one I never think about. But I don't have the context of like, I didn't see the documentary. I didn't listen to the soundtrack growing up like you did. Like, yeah, I didn't have that context.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's also this fact that it is this Wim Wenders-esque slice of life, like dueling narrative, like parallel narratives thing. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what the kind of movies that Wim Wenders makes, you know? It's just like, he did Perfect Days a couple years ago. It's just like, here's the sad guy that cleans bathrooms, you know? And I sit there and I watch them both on that like parallel journey. And I'm like, this is so interesting in terms of them as like creators, because that was intentional. There's no way it wasn't, because it ends with Jay being like, oh, I had a great, don't worry about it. Like, I didn't get anything. And I was like, it's really interesting to see you guys go for an emotional hook and a thematic hook more than just jokes.
Yeah. And then they immediately like lampshade it with Matt breaking character and like hitting Jay in the balls.
And doing a nut tap.
So that's why I think of time, because it's such a stray from the other stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. I did love in the scene right before Matt returns that Jay is playing Army by Ben Folds 5.
Yeah.
In the apartment. Just a nice little nod to that song playing a big role in the show.
So before we get into the live show, I want to read a tweet that delighted me.
Go on.
I put it in our document, or somebody posted, what the hell is Matt Johnson doing in Cuba? And someone said, dude, if I was a little Cuban kid chilling, living life, and then one day a white Canadian guy in a fedora brought a camera crew to our neighborhood to record himself dancing with us, I would think about it for the rest of my life.
I'm so curious if any of the people in this video specifically are like have ever seen it.
If you were in this, please send us an email.
Call.
Yeah, send us a voice memo, email us, whatever. We'd love to hear from you. And what was that like?
Yeah.
Because it seems deranged.
Incredible.
So lastly today, we have Nirvana the Band, the show, live at the Rivoli. Plot, it's Nirvana the Band, the show, live at the Rivoli.
Sure is.
Sure was.
They did it. They're playing the Rivoli.
Cool. How do we feel about this?
I think there's some good bits in this. I mean, they do kind of like retell the series a little bit during the live show, and I think that's cute and fun. There's some good performances. I love the Mark Inside. I really enjoyed their set. Yeah, I liked it.
I think my main thoughts on this were, I have no doubt that this was a really fun show to be at. It was not my favorite like concert recording. I did have some fun. There's a joke that I really desperately hate. And sort of my overall reaction is like, neat. I wish I had been there. I think it would have been really fun to be there.
On my notes here, I said, this is Stop Making Sense for internet nerds and indie rock kids from Canada.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I think Michelle, nail on the head, like with your assessment. And also, this is a me thing. None of the bands that play are just my type of music. So I was like, you are all talented musicians. This just isn't doing it for me. My favorite song was when they did the America's Funniest Home Videos theme song.
It was good. It was
a rockin' and a rollin'. But for anybody who hasn't seen it, basically, they do run through a bunch of the stuff from the web series, including Matt posing with the lights, him saying this is terrible. One thing I want to talk about that I thought was really, really cute was when they do a little tribute to the piano sessions by having Matt struggling to fix the screen on stage and asking Jay for help. And then what's the game he plays music from?
Final Fantasy VI.
Plays that while they show the footage like over Matt's face. And I thought that was a really fun way to like do the piano sessions live.
Oh, I was wondering what that was, and I was going to ask you, because we are watching a bunch of these other little bits for a couple odds and ends episodes, and I haven't watched them yet in the spirit of sort of being new to things. And I was wondering what reference I was missing there. And that explains it. Thank you.
Yeah. The piano sessions are all Matt struggling to do a chore, asking for Jay for help, and then Jay plays some sort of famous music while they show footage of it over Matt's face.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my notes here. Didn't like Matt making jokes about how he got a roofie and didn't know what it was.
No. I know the joke. And like, I think if you're going to do it, like the joke is that he didn't know and everyone around him is like, don't do that. That's fucked up. It's just, I think there are very few roofie jokes that are going to land for me personally.
What do you guys got on this one? I don't have a ton. I have a couple little notes here, but do you guys have anything?
I love that we got the second verse of Dancers on the Beach with Josh, the song that they improvised during Battle of the Bands. I thought that was great.
That was fun. I liked that Matt was so nervous the whole time, and it was very clear that like the second he had to do this in front of a crowd, he locked up.
That's interesting. I feel like I could see that. I didn't get that read while I was watching it.
Well, I got that read purely because Matt said on the commentary for the last episode of the web series that he almost threw up because he was so nervous.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
And when he's doing bits on stage, because, he's not doing any of the music, right? He's just doing bits in between the musical acts. He does like glance over at Jay quite a bit. And I thought it was really cute. It almost looked like he was like, hey, buddy, we're doing this. I'm so happy for us, but I'm so nervous.
Yeah. I think I wasn't expecting the live show to be just like mostly a straight up concert in the way that it was.
Mm-hmm.
And like to your point, Matt not being a musician is part of that. I think I was expecting more live comedy, but I guess that's not really what they do.
They have that little like fake breakup towards the end where they're in an argument and Jay's like, you would get it if you were a musician. And then it leads into like them, Matt playing with Born Ruffians again.
Yeah. I did like the Born Ruffian songs. They were very fun. I loved the cover of Tonight Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably my favorite like single song in the live show. And I like that there's a point where one of the members of the Born Ruffians says to Jay, you look sort of melancholy and sad.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I thought that was nice.
Good job. But, the Smashing Pumpkins. One of the worst concerts I've ever been to.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I
Where'd
saw the
you see
reunion
them?
tour at Mohegan Sun Arena.
What?
The casino?
Yeah, they have a full-ass stadium in there.
Oh.
Why was it so bad?
It was a real, we're not trying.
Ah.
We're here for your dollars. Also, maybe we're depressed that we're playing in a casino stadium.
That would do it.
Yeah.
I won tickets to see them off the radio in college, and I saw them
How
for
was
free.
that?
Yeah, I saw them for free, so it was great.
Okay, cool.
I do think for our Is Matt in Love with Jay corner of the podcast, I wrote down a note that Matt coming on and accusing every time Jay plays with other musicians, Matt treats it like he's cheating on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And boy, isn't that interesting.
Yeah, it really was.
Discuss is what my note says.
I mean,
It would dilute you. That's all I'm saying.
It would dilute you.
what a sweetie.
That's not a very sweet thing to say to somebody.
I know, but I get it. I relate way too much to Matt
Mm-hmm.
in this because I also acted like a dick when I was nervous and insecure
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at the time and didn't, actually talk about feelings, but which is funny, with me now. But just every time he does a little lash out like that, I'm like, I get where you're coming from. I feel you. I just want to hug you, tell you it's going to be okay.
I was a little bummed that there wasn't more commentary about this show. I think because it's one where I'm curious. I know they say they don't plan stuff, but like obviously they did have to do some amount of planning for this. And there are bits where the joke is we haven't planned it all. And then suddenly like there's a perfectly timed video behind us. And I think something in that section that I would be interested to hear from them about is when it comes to those interactions where like Matt's coming on and saying, this will dilute you. Are you playing with other people? Are you joining another band? Was that a plan bit? Is that something that he's coming up with in the moment? Where does that come from? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I mean, it does come up quite a bit in the live show, I feel like, because there's that and then that sort of argument that they get into before they break up where I think Matt or Jay's yelling at the other one about like, you ran out on me. And it like really feels like a couple arguing.
Yeah.
So I do think there were parts of it that were pre-planned. I don't know if that exact line was, but that would be a great thing to ask them.
I'll add that also to my list. Do you remember this exact thing from almost 20 years ago?
20 years ago. What I read it as is we know what button we have to get to, right? Like the joke about what band would you go to? Here's the Born Ruffians. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It read to me like we know where this segment that we're doing starting. We know what the end line we got to get to is. Let's have a little fun on that journey with what we're saying. That was how it felt to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
There was a really interesting thing I saw on Reddit around the concert.
Ooh.
A user named The Sound of a Fart.
Nice. Hell yeah.
They said, I was there. One thing I remember from the show that is not in the DVD is that there was an audio skit running throughout the evening. Like before they got on stage, through the speakers, you could hear Matt and Jay bickering about going on stage. So apparently besides what we saw, there was just audio of them mic'd in the background.
Oh,
nice.
Interesting. I was curious if there was much, if anything, that was left out of this recording. And one of you put the set list for the show in our document, and I was surprised, like, all the songs are in there. So that's an interesting little detail. Thank you. Sound of a fart.
Our greatest journalist, Sound of a Fart. Watching this, the one thing that I walked away feeling was I really miss jamming with my friends. Like, I've been in a lot of bands over the years, haven't done it, in a long time. I was like, yeah, it feels really great to just sing a song and play a song with friends that you all know and love. And when they were doing Smells Like Teen Spirit at the end, they basically just turned into like a Canadian indie rock polyphonic spree. And I was like, that's so joyful. That made me leave with a smile.
I loved the end of them all singing Smells Like Teen Spirit. They're all clearly having such a good time and have just pulled off this thing, and that's the last bit of it. It's really charming. It's really nice.
Yeah, it reminded me of like in my youth, being in punk bands or whatever, when somebody's like, all right, we're just going to do a cover. And then we would just storm the stage and sing it with them. And it was always so fun. And it made me feel a little nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
That's so nice.
But I wanted to ask, just because there wasn't a ton about this, do you two have any favorite concert films?
That's not a genre of movie that I have watched a ton of.
Or live performances that you loved, like, or a favorite concert you went to. Any sort of, live music history. Or we can abandon this bit completely.
Is this a bit? I thought we were learning and growing in our friendship.
I was being sincere. I meant bit of the podcast, like as an amount of time, not joke.
So I don't think I watched a lot of like live recordings like that. I will say that the one music related thing that I watched an embarrassing amount of was the documentary Life on the Murder Scene about My Chemical Romance.
Hell yeah.
Came out after 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge became very popular. And it was in that beautiful liminal space when they were really blowing up for that and they were starting to record the Black Parade. And so I bought this thing. It was a DVD and it had a CD with some like unreleased songs and like live recordings and stuff. And one of my favorite songs of all time is on the CD called Desert Song. It's a great song. Everyone should listen to it. And I watched it constantly. I was obsessed. And yeah, I made John, my partner, watch it recently. And it's much different than I remember because I remember it being more because I was like 14 and this meant everything to me. And it was just like, this isn't really as like in depth as I thought it was. But back then, this was just like the Bible, basically.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Nice. How about you, Michelle?
I think the only concert, I don't even know if this counts as a concert film. I had a DVD of a Real Big Fish concert that for like, I don't know, 3 months of 7th grade, I just watched over and over and over again. Many apologies to my parents for that one.
Don't apologize. We got an emo kid. We got a ska kid. We're doing great.
A Ska Kid feels like stolen valor, though. It was just this one specific Real Big Fish DVD that I loved. That's far from my favorite concert experience, which I think like live and in person a couple years ago, we saw Boy Genius at the Gorge, which is in Washington State, and it's like on the side of a cliff, and it's the most beautiful concert venue I've ever been to in my life. Carly Rae Jepsen opened for Boy Genius, and I cried for probably 3 hours straight.
That's awesome.
It was great. I loved it. One of the great highlights of my life.
I love that it started off with Carly Rae, which is a completely different emotional energy than Boy Genius.
And
I believe
planned
Canadian.
a whole trip around. I wanted to see Boy Genius on this tour. They were playing much closer to where I live on the East Coast. But Carly Rae Jepsen was only opening for their dates in the Pacific Northwest. So we planned a whole trip and went to the North Cascades to see Carly Rae Jepsen and Boy Genius perform together. And I got mad at the younger people who didn't appreciate the Queen of Pop for her contributions to music.
Youths.
Kit,
do you have a favorite live show experience? Yeah, we didn't get yours.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of a band called AJJ. And the lead singer, Sean Burnett, did a small solo show above a taco place in the middle of nowhere, Brooklyn.
Cool.
And it was a great experience. It was an early date with me and my partner. We both loved AJJ and we're so excited about this. Yeah, it was a great time. The taco place was delicious. The music was good. They had a great outdoor patio, great for smoking a cigarette and hanging out. It was great.
This all sounds so nice.
Yeah.
Steve,
Awesome.
do you have a favorite live concert experience?
In terms of concert films, I referenced it earlier, but one of my favorite films, period, of all time is Stop Making Sense. Jonathan Demme's classic Talking Heads. Hi, I'm basic as fuck. But that movie is one of the most joyful things ever put to film. So we're talking concert films. That's there. But in terms of live concerts, so when I was starting college, or I'm going to say this was maybe 2001, 2002, like I was about to graduate high school, about to go to college. David Bowie played tiny venues around New York City in the order of the New York City Marathon. And
Whoa.
he played my college auditorium.
Whoa.
Wow.
And I guessed the pre-sale code.
Ooh. Do you
Was
remember what it was?
1, 2,
Yeah.
3?
No, he had an album coming out called Heathen at the time. And I was like, Ticketmaster's fucking stupid. The pre-sale code's going to be Heathen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put it in and it was like, you're going. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to David Bowie and a fucking 500 seat venue.
That's incredible. I'm thinking about how smart and powerful I feel when I am purchasing something from a new website and I just type welcome into the coupon code field
Yep.
and get 10 to 15% off. And that has to feel like that times 100,000.
Yeah, because my old scams, going to date myself, was I would, you know, when Ticketmaster used to have to call them,
Mm-hmm.
I would call out of state Ticketmaster offices.
Why?
So
what was the
because
benefit?
because there would be like really long waits to get tickets for like Bruce Springsteen's playing in Jersey. If you called from New York, you were fucked.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But if you called like Colorado, they had access to the same systems.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay. I see the vision.
So I would call like the Colorado number and I get right through. I specifically used it for Bruce Springsteen multiple times. I'm 100 years old. You guys are like, I love Boy Genius. I love MCR. And I'm like, Bruce Springsteen and David Bowie.
I've seen
also
Bruce.
Love Bruce. I tried to go see him recently, but his tickets are too damn expensive.
I have seen Bruce Springsteen live. Great. I have also seen Hank Azaria's E Street cover band live within
Hell
the last
yeah.
year. It ruled. If you have a chance to see the Easy Street Band, I can't recommend it enough because it's a tight, like 90-minute show that's some Bruce Springsteen songs and a bunch of Hank Azaria voices.
What
and
else
there
do you
will be
need?
a bunch of 60 to 70-year-old women and men in that room having the best time of their lives. And me. I will also be there.
They played outside of Citi Field before a Mets game once.
Did you go?
I could not.
I'm so sorry.
One of my friends sent me a video from it, and all 60s and 70-year-olds having the time of their life in Mets gear. Sounds like the greatest night you could possibly have.
It's great.
But,
Hank Azaria is ripped.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's kind of hot.
Really hot. Not kind of. No qualifiers.
Wow.
More like hot Azaria.
More like hunk Azaria.
There we go. You got it. I admit, when I saw the birdcage, I was like, well, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That little crop
shit.
top.
He is ripped. What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. Hank Azaria, come on the show and tell us about your workout routine, please.
Can we talk about Springsteen with you? All right, let me put it on the board. Hold on one second. So Seth MacFarlane only allowed to talk about Sinatra. Hank Azaria only allowed to talk about Bruce Springsteen?
No, his workout routine.
And his workout routine. Sorry. Those two things. Cool. All right. Well, does anyone else have anything to say about the live show besides this?
I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. I love that it was filmed in July of 2009, and then the commentary was in December. Just feels like that was a big year of wrapping up all of this for them, which I'm sure was pretty emotional in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, 10 years later, they were back at it.
Mm-hmm.
Cute little boys.
I'm so glad that they got to play the Rivoli.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is like, no matter what I thought of the show, it was these boys that I love getting their thing. And, what can you really complain about?
Nothing at all. So fun.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to feel how they felt when they come on our show.
Yeah, they've been waiting to come on this show. Maybe this is the Rivoli for them. Maybe they've given up on the Rivoli and the podcast is the new Rivoli.
Their new goal is a Zoom with the three of us.
3 nobodies they've never met.
Well, we guess coupon codes and pre-sale codes, so
Oh, shit.
that might sweeten the pot.
Maybe if we just start guessing email addresses, we'll have some success.
Matt.Johnson@AOL.com.
Matt Johnson 1, Matt Johnson 2, Matt Johnson 3. Yeah, we'll check the AOLs, the Yahoos, the Hotmails.
That's all of them, I think. I don't think there are any other email
SGs.
providers.
I'm trying to think of any others, and they're just not coming to mind.
Proton Mail.
Mail.com.
Those are not things. No.
MailChimp.
Oh.
Mail Kim? This is serial now.
Oh my God. It's a serial podcast. We go episode by episode.
Honestly,
Somebody's
that's
done
a
that,
great
right?
bet.
Surely someone has done this.
I mean,
cereal.
You never know, because that's how this podcast started. If you want some podcast lore, feel free to cut this. Part of how this started is we were joking around about Nirvana the Band, the show, the podcast, and then Googled it and were shocked to realize it hadn't been taken. And now here we are.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you would like to start your own Nirvana the Band podcast, please do. And then email us at nirvanathepod@gmail.com and we will start a feud. And it will be mutually beneficial for the both of us. I think it'll be really fun.
I've always wanted to have a feud.
Yeah.
Hear me out. What if somebody does a podcast about our podcast?
Oh, wow. It's Inception now.
Nirvana the Band, the show, the podcast.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'd like someone to psychoanalyze us.
Would you?
No, absolutely not. Please don't do that.
No, thank you.
At least not where I can see.
You wouldn't see, you would hear.
Fuck.
I'm sure it'll come out throughout the rest of the show, but one of us makes a joke that goes way too far is kind of the essence of this friendship.
Yeah.
That's how you end up at a fucking IHOP at 1 a.m. sampling the Willy Wonka menu.
A treasured memory.
Yeah. And we will do it again.
That's also how you wind up spending the night in Buffalo Bill's house for your friend's
That is.
birthday.
With some beautiful photos of all of us in the well together.
If we get Matt and Jay on, I will post the photo of us in Buffalo Bill's well from Sounds of the Lambs.
That feels like a fair agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, one thing we never do on this podcast, we never ask people to rate and review us. Some of you have given us lovely ratings already, but we would love it if you would do that. It boosts the profile of the show.
But only if you like it.
Only if you like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, fuck off.
Email us
definitely
at
didn't make it this
Nirvana
far.
the Pod.
You can email us your complaints and we'll work on it. But Don't give us a bad rating, please.
You know what? You could voicemail and bash us and maybe we'll play it.
If you're Canadian, we will play it.
You know what? If you're American, we'll play it. Let's go.
No, Canadians get special
don't promise
treatment.
them that.
Okay, fine. I want to be called a cuck in a voicemail to my podcast.
Well, then make a Canadian do it.
Anyway, we are going to be back next week with part 1 of our odds and ends. Let's see how that goes.
Infinite new opportunities for us to go off topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that we needed them.
Yeah, seriously. These are going to be just fun little, one-off things. It's not going to be too deep. We're going to be, as we said last week, we're going to be doing our picks next week. The following week, we're going to be doing fan-submitted ones. We got some lovely feedback from people, and we're going to go over your odds in it. And then we're off to Viceland.
Can't wait.
It's going to be
coming soon.
So fun.
We will have some guests along the way. I think it's going to be a great time. And we'll see you there. As always, nothing like a good feeling.
Nothing like a good feeling.
Nothing like a good feeling.
Thank you for listening to Nirvana the Band, the show, the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. You can email us or send a voice memo to nirvanathepod@gmail.com. And we're also on Bluesky and Instagram @nirvanathepod. Our website is nirvanathepod.com. Our show is edited by Kit with additional help by John. Special thanks to Ann Meadows for our logo. Oh, and Matt and Jay, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the show.